I don't know about you guys, but over the years, I've watched influencers go from humble beginnings to being overly consumeristic, luxury handbag, shoe, shirt, designer wearing gluttons for spending money. Unfortunately, for a small minute, I sort of started falling into that. And I'm so thankful that I was able to get out of that mindset. To each their own. When people are making millions, they feel like spending millions. And sometimes people from humble beginnings start to only wear Chanel. I went through a moment where I was like, a Givenchy slides. And I bought that cringe ass shit. And today I wanted to explain to you the most regretful, cringy purchases that I have made as an influencer. It is just a part of the story I think we all go through. You get a little bit of money and you're like, I need these. When I first started, the whole premise of my YouTube channel is kind of what we've gone back to now. And that is helping you to not feel like you have to spend $10 million to look awesome. You don't need to. And I still stand by that. That was how my whole channel started. It was like, oh, everybody else is using MAC. Well, guess what? Coastal Scents 252 palette also works really well. And I still stand by that. Like, I stand by the fact that you can get really good makeup really, really inexpensively. The dollar store has really good stuff. I'm just gonna be honest with you. As time goes on and you start getting more free makeup and you start getting more money and more sponsorship opportunities, you're like, I too need a Gucci belt. And unfortunately, I did do that. And I don't know why. I think I actually do know why. And it is because part of this industry is feeling pressured to buy expensive shit so that you look like you are part of that group. And I hate to say that I sort of fell into that, but I definitely did. Like this stupid ass idiot t-shirt that I have worn one time. And it's like, it's gaudy. It's not even something that I would wear. Yet I paid, I think, $300 or $400 for this t-shirt. I know, it's a t-shirt. It's a white cotton t-shirt that has some gold ass military style buttons on here and a gold writing that says Balmain. It's just not me, and it never was. I did wear this to my first meet and greet when I went with Hourglass, and to be fair, when I wore this, I felt like, okay, I'm here with Hourglass, which is like, you guys know, the luxury makeup brand, and for them to invite me, I felt like, okay, girl, you gotta get some nice clothes. And so I went to Nordstrom. I went to Nordstrom Canada, actually. I was hanging out with Sam and we would go there all the time. It was really fun. Honestly, it was really fun. We would go there and like look at all the stuff. And I honestly bought a few of my luxury purchases up in Canada because it was, I don't know, it was just, their Nordstrom is really bougie. Like mine is nice and all of that, but theirs is like almost all luxury stuff. And so I would go up to Canada all the time and get my hair done or go up to Canada and hang out with Sam. And I was like, all right. So we went and I was going up there and buying luxury shit all the time. And it was so, no, not all the time. Okay, this isn't crazy. I'm not somebody out there doing a 250,000 handbag haul. I did buy one handbag and it was from YSL and I wore it every single day for 3 years, 4 years maybe. It wasn't one of those things for me where you just wear it sometimes. It was like, this is my bag. It was connected to me at all times. The YSL camera bag. And honestly, it's a great bag. A bag from Target would have absolutely sufficed. The bag that I carry now is the Portland leather backpack. And I love it. It holds everything that I need. It holds up so well. It's so cute. I absolutely love the backpack. I am not a purse girly. It's just not for me. This didn't hold enough stuff for me. I need it to hold more because I have a bunch of trash that I need to carry around. Okay, I'm type D. That bag, I think when I bought it, maybe it was $1,500 or $1,700, I'm not sure. That's insane. Like for me, it makes me feel physically ill. I could buy so many things with $1,700. I cannot even begin to tell you. I actually put up a reel about this the other day and a lot of people agree with me, some people didn't, but I was talking about how personally I think that designer bags are ugly. I think they're ugly. I don't know about you guys, but I just think that designer bags are way overpriced for what they look like. They're very gaudy and buckly and flashy and structured. There's something about a designer bag to me that when people are like, this was cost $30,000, my mind cannot physically comprehend how anybody could look at that and think, that's worth that. I ain't worth that. Crazy to me that some of these places like Hermes, you have to be invited to buy the bag. You can't even just buy a bag. Like even if I had the money, you can't. They're like, you peasant. You can't just buy a bag. You must be invited to buy a bag. No, it's absolutely ridiculous. Chanel bags to me, I don't know, maybe I'm just a hater. Fine, I don't even care. I just think so much better use of money. I cannot physically understand when somebody has 150 bags. Why? There's no way you're using them. I just don't understand. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm just too cheap, or I don't know. I just don't, I'm not the right one. Okay. I'm not the right one to ever think that a luxury bag is going to be worth the money. My YSL bag was I wouldn't necessarily say I regret it, but I sort of do. It feels ridiculous. I could have bought a bag from literally anywhere else. Portland leather bag has been wonderful for me, and it just doesn't have the YSL in gold on it, and it's perfectly good. I'm also not the type of person that should have designer bags because I cannot be trusted to treat them with the respect that they probably deserve for the price that they cost. It's not worth it to me because I am type D, and my YSL bag had some sort of goo, I don't know, some sort of lip gloss spilled in it or something. Like, I'm just not the one. When people are like, oh, changing out my handbag, mine has a receipt from 6 years ago in it with a wad of gum in it. I'm not good enough for it, and I do regret it, I think. It was fun. It was fun while it lasted. It was fun to buy. How do you think you are, girl? These. Now, why did I buy these? I don't know, you guys. It's so stupid. I wore them all the time. These are Givenchy slides. Now, these, I think, for some slides, what were these? $350 for a pair of foam shoes that don't even fit me. They don't even fit me. These are way too big. I think I got size, I don't know, I accidentally got size like 9 and I'm a size 8. These are so big and floppy on my feet. I got these, why? Because I got invited on a trip with Pure Cosmetics and BoxyCharm. Do you guys remember when I went to Mexico with Pure and BoxyCharm? And I felt like regular slides weren't good enough for me. I needed some Givenchy slides. And it's embarrassing now to look back on because I'm like, who would literally give a shit? Everybody there is wearing Shein. Nobody there cares about my shoes. But I felt like, well, I'm surrounded by all these gorgeous, rich influencers. I cannot just be wearing Target shoes. So I went to the fucking Nordstrom and bought Givenchy slides. Dear Lord. So do I regret them? Yes, absolutely. $350 for a pair of shoes. Crocs are way better. I wear Crocs every single day. I've had my one pair of Crocs for like 5 years. Still growing strong, baby. Maybe gave me a little tendinitis, but hey. This jacket was one of the purchases that I will never regret. It is from Sandro Paris, and this is a designer jacket. This jacket was normally it's $800, but I got it half off for $400. That's crazy for a jacket. Like, I hear it, I know it, I feel it, but I've worn it a million times and it is so beautiful. And every time I wear this jacket, I just feel like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. The pearls on the back and the beading and just the way that this jacket fits me is so good. So I won't, but this shirt is ridiculous. Come on, just wear a white t-shirt. Go to Walmart and buy a white t-shirt for $7. Probably would fit better than this, and it wasn't even necessary, you guys. It just has the gold writing on it. Nobody read my shirt. Nobody was reading it and being like, wow, she's cool. Nobody. Same with this Gucci belt, okay? Come on. It's just sitting in its dust bag. And here's the reason that I'm never, like, okay, here it is. Was this like $400 that I paid for this belt? You guys, when I tell you right now that they have this belt knockoff on Amazon, it looks exactly the same for it's like 15 bucks. And what's funny is when I was wearing this, I actually saw a few other influencers mention that they wear the knockoff version of this. And it's like, why do we need our belt to look like this? Why is that something that we need? We don't need it. But this is a real Gucci belt. And I remember the day that I bought this and the event that I bought it for. I remember specifically, it was Hourglass again. It was Hourglass again. There was something specific about, because they're such a fancy brand and because they invited me and I feel like I'm just dirty brown water trash. I was like, they invited me. I need to look put together for them. So I remember where I was when I bought it. I went to Bellevue Square in Washington. If you guys don't know Bellevue, Bellevue is like our bougie ass, rich people, elevated. Everybody there is driving a Lambo. And I remember specifically pulling up and there was a Lamborghini sitting in front of the Gucci store. Or excuse me, it was in front of the Hermes store, which I didn't even go in. I was on my way home and I thought, I cannot not wear something designer to this. I have to. So I bought Valentino heels and a Gucci belt. I laugh now. The Valentino heels, baby, I wish I had them in front of me. I don't even know where they are. They are absolutely falling apart. These heels are beautiful. and I love the way that they look, and they look so striking when they're on. And I've worn them so many times, so they've been worth the money in that regard. But come on, any shoe is fine. You do not need these Valentino heels. And in fact, I'm sure there's a dupe for them out there that is way less expensive. I think I paid almost like $2,000 for these. I could have worn any other shoes and nobody would have cared. I got those for the Shorty Awards. I was nominated for a Shorty Award and I didn't win. Felt like I needed some kind of special shoe. So I was wearing my Fashion Nova dress and my Valentino heels. I don't shop at Fashion Nova anymore. I have a huge story with them, but Fashion Nova. I bought some Givenchy shoes. They are these tennis shoes. And as you can see, I'm wearing them here in this picture in New York. And what's funny about this picture is this literally just straight out of camera. Zach took this picture of me, but the angle that he's taking it at, so you could see the New York street behind me, straight up looks like I'm photoshopped into the image as a miniature, doesn't it? Doesn't that look weird? Now that I've said it, you can never unsee it. I was wearing these shoes and I love them. They're beautiful. I got these for that same trip, the Shorty Awards trip, I believe. And why I felt I needed designer shoes for that, designer tennis shoes, I will never know. I think these shoes were $800. You guys, when I'm saying all this, it's shameful. I've never talked about any of it because it's like embarrassing to me to think that I felt that I needed to do this to fit into the influencer stereotype that for some reason has become a thing. It has become normal for influencers or people who make YouTube videos or for people who make videos on the internet to flex on subscribers about how much money they make or how rich they are or how much designer shit they have. Don't ask me why this has become a normal thing that influencers do, but tell me if this isn't the case, that every time an influencer gets popular, they all start buying designer shit. And it's like they have to do, there's almost like a handbook of all these things that you need to do in order to influencer hard enough, in order to be the right kind. And it's sort of like you start off humble beginnings and then you rise your way up and everybody's proud of you. And then you're like, okay, designer shit. And then everyone's like, okay, unrelatable. And then you fall from grace. And then you're like, oh, it's sort of like there's like a handbook. I promise you, at least from my standpoint, there wasn't. It just felt sort of like I had to do these things in order to maintain relevancy in some kind of way, to be accepted by my peers who I didn't even give a shit about anyway. When I would go to these events, they'd be perfectly pleasant, but nobody was overtly incredible. And they were fine, like everybody was perfectly fine, but I didn't care what they were wearing. Why did I think that they cared what I was wearing? So after this, after I went through this stupid little spending spree of feeling like I needed to own all these designer high-end items, I never did again, because you want to know what the reality of owning these items actually looks like. For me, embarrassment. I would never wear this belt. Why would I wear it? It feels embarrassing to wear. I'm not gonna wear these. These feel embarrassing to wear. This is embarrassing to wear. The shoes, embarrassing to wear. Specifically, those tennis shoes that are pretty much brand new, embarrassing to wear. I can't describe to you that wearing designer items when you live in a rural town feels cringe. It feels like, who am I trying to impress? What am I trying to do here? What is the end goal of this? It feels like, I don't know, gaggy in a certain kind of way. And so I bought these things, and while I wore them in LA, it felt normal. And then when I get back to my normal town and my normal life, it felt super cringe to wear any of this stuff out and about. And I realized that that means it's not me. It's not me at all. And in fact, I have all of these items, they sit in the back of my closet, and I just look at them and I'm like, it was a time that I needed to go through. I needed to experience it to know that it's not real, it's not for me, and it may be for other people, and other people can feel any kind of way that they want to feel about it, but it's not for me, okay? I am no designer girl, and there's nothing wrong with being one, I guess. I think for me, I think that anything else is worth the money than any of just having the name Gucci on something and feeling like the experience is kind of fun, shopping for it and feeling very luxury. But at the end of the day, other than that, to me, it just felt like a huge waste of money. Like I kind of conformed in a weird way to something that I never thought was cool until I was told that it was cool. It was almost like an experience I needed to feel to know that it gave me nothing. And then ultimately embarrassment and cringe at the end of the day. So that's today's video. I hope that it was somewhat interesting to watch. I feel like the majority of things that I did, but I did not buy a luxury car, and I'm glad about that. Still drive my old Ford. I did not buy a multi-million-dollar mansion, no way. I feel like I kept my head on my shoulders for the most part. I went through a moment, as we can see, went through a moment. That moment has since passed. I think we all go through it. I feel like, tell me, are there any influencers that you've seen not do it? You know what I mean? It's just, it's just a part of it. You have to kind of experience that it means nothing. You don't have to. And I hope that if anybody else goes through this, they can just like learn from my mistakes, that it was stupid. It's not really mistakes. It was probably, it was a good expensive lesson that this shit sits in the back of my closet and cringes me out every time I look at it. And the only one of all of the items that I've ever bought that I actually enjoy is that one jean jacket. And actually people think I made it a lot of the times. Like, whoa, did you make that? And I'm like, no, but I probably could have for a fraction of the price. Anyway, I hope this video was somewhat interesting to watch and that you guys enjoyed listening to me talk about all the stupid shit that I've bought, that hopefully you can just learn that, is it that good of quality? No. Tell me if any of you agree with this too. I'm sure that some of you do, but after the age of the influencer culture of wearing Gucci everything and Gucci tracksuits and all this stuff and all these brands and like these people wearing these full, like, I feel like these brands lost their luster. I feel like they are kind of, they know they're cringe now. Specifically, the #1 brand that I think is just like sinfully ugly across the board, and this is just a personal preference, everyone can disagree with me if they want, is Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton looks cheap to me. It looks like, are we still doing the LV? Like, are we still doing this monogram print on everything? It's giving knockoff even when it's real. You know what I mean? Everything looks knockoffy. Everything looks cheap. And it's not cheap. That's the funny part. It's not cheap at all. But since influencers wearing all of this designer stuff, it's made me feel like it's cheapened the companies a lot more than they used to be. And that's what guess what happens when you give a bunch of random teenagers $10 million each. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that it was somewhat interesting to watch. If you guys enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you at my next video.